You're looking at a daily chart of the Nasdaq. Welcome to my daily review. Just going to review this here for those who may not have seen this before. From January to February 2nd, we had a nice 15% run. And the Nasdaq made a high of 12,269 on February 2nd. And then the retracement was about 50% of that original move here. And then since then, the Nasdaq made this bottom here at 10,982. And it's rallied back up, but it hasn't been able to take out the old high of 12,269. And really, it's just kind of made this like cup with handle type pattern, but it's in a power trend. It's definitely, to me, it looks really good. I know last week it was down 4 out of the 5 days, but it was up for the week. And today it had a nice 34%, 34-point gain ahead of earnings. Earnings season's going to tell it all. And if the earnings are bad, then, the index will go down. If they're good, they'll probably go higher. But anyway, I don't trade the index. We know that the Superb 7 or the Grade 8 or the Divine 9 drive this index. And we like to deal with stocks. And the stocks today that were strong were the biotech stocks. This is RXDX. You can see way up here, it had a nice 69.73% gain. Anyway, it was bought out by Merck. So Merck used its bazooka to buy another company, and these large big pharma drug companies are flush with cash, and they're going to continue to be buying out these smaller companies with drugs so they can refresh their pipelines. And that's a good use of cash. Here you see Merck here. It's kind of set up in a little base consolidation area and kind of went sideways the last couple of days, but this one looks good to me. They have earnings next Thursday on the 27th. Usually the acquiring company does go down a little bit, so not too bad today for Merck. It was only down 30 cents, which I would call flat. Something that is not flat certainly is the Novo Nordisk, and with their obesity, drug, the weight loss drug. And they have an approval for another drug. They got a broad pipeline. It's not just a weight loss and diabetes play here, but this stock, I mean, what can you say? It's got about, since the breakout, it's up like 20%, which I don't know how much more you can expect out of that. Says 18% from the pivot in 31 days. So it's getting close, to, maybe flattening out here and forming another base, but definitely looking strong here. And just makes a new high just about every day. And there's nothing to do here but just kind of hold this stock and watch it go up. It's 4.8% above its 10 EMA, so not too bad. But anyway, Novo Nordisk, definitely a huge winner in the biotech space. The CPRX, this is one that got the letter from Teva Pharmaceuticals, said it was going to challenge one of its patents. Or, it only has 2 drugs, but they're delivering real strong earnings. And if, they win their FDA lawsuit, this thing's going to, do pretty well. And by the looks of this, it seems like investors are starting to think that the FDA is going to decide in CPRX favor. But we're going to have to wait and see on that, Teva Pharmaceuticals and CPRX. The other one that is just ripping higher here is VKTX, which is the Viking Therapeutics, which also has a weight loss trial. They're in trial phase. They don't have a drug yet, but very positive data from their trial. And they're going to have a pill form weight loss drug, which is the same idea as Novo Nordisk. So the thought process here is, well, if they have a drug coming out, they're probably going to be a buyout candidate for sure. And also TGTX, this one, I should have also shown the Viking, because this is 104.6% above the 200. It just ripped up higher on, there was news from an analyst who said the sales are going really well for the new multiple sclerosis drug. I'd like to see this one. You can see the 1959 pivot here, just kind of handle out here. It's got a gap to fill here at 1924. So maybe one day it'll just kind of pull back in here and allow the moving averages to catch up. And, when it has its data points, I'm sure they're going to be surprising to the upside because they have best in show. Anyway, I should show you this at the, this is 200% above its 200 simple moving average. So That thing is way extended, but like I say, it's a buyout candidate. So another area that was strong is the retail stocks. I'm not going to get to all of them, but I'm going to get to some that I like, some that I own, and this is CROX, which is forming this base here. And it had a buy point here. I think I had it at 128 something, but anyway, it's getting a little extended here, unless you're going by the standard buy point, which would be the 143 area. And you could probably see it and like handle out here before earnings on April 27th, next Thursday. I would expect some profit taking and some caution ahead of earnings next week. The other one is ELF. ELF is one that I took a little bit of profits in today because I talked about how right there you can see it's 73.6% above its 200. This thing is just ramping. It's getting too hot for me, so I figured I'd take some profits, just a little bit, and buy myself some more CROX. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not buying more CROX. But I just wanted to show you this like breakout from the upper channel here. It's bumping up against it, this upper channel line. So that kind of makes me a little nervous. Yeah, it might go to 100. It's probably going to go past that. But it's a little extended above the 200 and it's bumping up against its upper channel. And you can see when it's done it in the past, it's pulled back. Every time it bumps up here, it just pulls back to a moving average. So a little move back, to 85 or something. That would not surprise me. And would be healthy for it, but probably go to 100 before it does that. But anyway, I just wanted to show you that full disclosure, I just trimmed a little bit of the ELF today. And the other one I like in retail, well, there's a lot of them that I like in retail, but the other one I'm going to talk about is Lululemon, because it ramped up on earnings and now it's forming this little shelf, whatever, if you will, a 3 weeks tight pattern here within the base, which whenever you have a move up and it holds its gains, it's telling you that investors are comfortable with the price and they're not just going to sell it and they think it's too expensive. And Lululemon looks good to me here. And there's just a lot of retail that are looking good. I'm not going to get into them all right now. I'm just going to move on here to the solar, because First Solar is one of our top stocks. And you can see it just trading like flat sideways here and then pop today. It was downgraded last week and still went up on a downgrade. So that always tells you a little something like, they're trying to push it down and they can't. And today it popped over 5%. In phase, I believe this was upgraded today and it handled it beautifully with heavy volume. And in phase looks real good here. It's just trying to form this base here with a 230 buy area. Anyway, the home builders. Moving on to the home builders from the solar stocks, Meritage, this one popped today. And this one had this, you got to look at the weekly on this one. It had a long consolidation period, flattened out. Now it's starting to move higher. DHI, same thing. You got to take a look at the weeklies. And just a big consolidation period here, flattening out. You can see that had a 3 weeks tight as well. Just starting to move here, but found support at the 10 EMA, and that one looks good. And of course, Builder, I'm throwing this one in with the homes. And this one made a new high today and just pulled back. And it broke out recently. And just another strong stock that we have on our leading stock list. Speaking of the leading stock list, we had a bunch of stocks making new highs today. Like I continue to say, it's a stock picker's market. You have to be very selective with which stocks you're picking. And if you pick the wrong ones, you're going to get hammered. But if you pick the right ones, you can do well in this tape. And this is PERI, the commercial services advertising stock, trading at a new high today. LNTH, this is one of our top stocks as well. We had this on our watch list. It broke out right away, which is what you like to see. And now it's just trending higher, found support at the 10 EMA several times. And that stock looks good, has earnings next Friday. That's a strange day for earnings, but it says here April 28th. Okay. LNTH. Another one is AXON, AXON. This stock just trending higher, trend trader's dream. Nothing to do here, just watch it go higher. And that stock looks great as well. I know people say it's expensive, but who cares? We like stocks that go higher. General Electric Healthcare. This is a spinoff from General Electric. And this is an IPO that just hit the ground running and is just ramping higher. I don't believe it made a new high today, but it's trading near a new high. and just finding support at its moving averages. So that one looks good as well. Anyway, that's it for today. Tomorrow's a new day. We're looking forward to earnings, and I'm hoping that they're going to be better than expected. Anyway, we never give up.